time on that. 106 minutes on that.
I'm going to pull up your live feed so I can see the questions.
That's fine.
Because that's a good idea. Well, are you not going to go live yourself?
Okay, here. I'm going hot. Checking connection. And then we are live. And we don't have any guests yet. And I'm going to hit this real quick here. This record. Sync it. Another one. Should be good. All right. Dude, can you see this? No, you can't, which is good.
It's got a lag.
That's okay. That's okay. All right, guys. And whenever we do anything, if there's something, we're just going to freaking talk about it. Everything, detailed. Anything that I miss, anything you want, just hammer in. Just go. I'm going to start it right now.
It's already started.
Yep, I'm golden.
Instagram.
I'm golden. It's hot. I turned it on right as soon as I hit record on those. So let's start this. What's up, guys? I'm James O'Neill, your host of the Predator Hunter podcast. This is the place where we go into detail with the equipment that we use and how we use that equipment, application specific. Today, we're going to be going over a setup that we've used for our whole lives. We've honestly used it our whole lives. Before we go there, though, we have Keith Rissy as co-host and John O'Neill as co-host, and we're doing something that we've never done before. We are streaming live on Instagram for you guys that, you know, you're going to get first dibs. You're going to be able to watch the podcast first, and hopefully the audio is good. Of course, it's not going to be anything like what you're actually going to be hearing through Anchor or Spotify or once we get it uploaded to YouTube, but hopefully it's good enough that you guys can kind of tell what we're talking about. We're going over the KILLBOX, how we set it up, where we set it up, why we set it up, how we do, and the success that we have had with them. I have the shakes, dude. Bad, so bad. So what we've got going on, guys, is a KILLBOX setup that we've meticulously set up to detail, and I'm going to show you guys on the video here. This is actually a thermal imaging screenshot of a thermal drone. It's a Matrice 210. Maybe you guys can even see it here on Instagram. That black hot down in the bottom left corner, unless it gets turned over for you guys, is actually Keith standing there. And then there's John right here, my pinky, and I'm in the tractor. So you guys can kind of get the setup, kind of see the setup. And we're working on a YouTube video. So what we wanted to do was kind of use this podcast as a precursor, kind of an amplifier to get you guys jacked up for what's about to come. Because I think that this is probably, if we do it right, we've got the trigger pullers, we've got the footage. I just want to present it really cool, really unique for the YouTube channel so that you guys can have a little bit of entertainment there too. And I think that we've got it. But the KILLBOX is designed. It's exactly
just what it says.
Exactly what it says. It's a KILLBOX.
It's for one thing and one thing only.
And when they go in, they don't come out most of the time. It's I mean, it's kind of constructed. It's a little bit tougher and nothing against anybody out there that may not be able to have the opportunity that we do. But I mean, we're looking at, that's our stack yard for our bull pasture. Okay. So that's all of the hay that we've put up throughout the summer months that we stack in a yard for 30 to 40 head of bulls that we winter in that specific pasture. So what we've done is we've went in there and we've just configured that stack lot to, I mean, once you look at it, you see the video, we've created a buffer zone in the shape of a kill box. And like I said, it's all by design. That buffer was designed to not only shield our sounds and our sight, but it also is a platform for us to elevate ourselves and be able to take a lot more efficient and, in the end, effective shots on these animals.
And it's pretty unique in itself as far as, the setup, the area and whatnot, but how we set them bales up, as well as, I mean, going even as in depth as the windmill making noise that's 150 to 200 yards away. It's just, people ask, how do you get in there, or how do you sneak in on a coyote when there's snow on the ground or there's a crusted snow, and really you don't sneak up on them there. I mean, you sneak in, but like you said, it's a buffer zone, and then there's noise in the background from the windmill. Maybe the breeze is blowing, the windmill's squeaking, just different things like that makes it so unique.
And that's right on spot, because you take it a step further, and we're in a certain location with our terrain, just where we're at on the map. I think that we're in a spot where if you did some biological studies, there's probably some kind of migratory movement from that animal there, from the refuge to the sand hills to all the way down south.
Sure.
And with the river being there,
yeah.
Once that does, and you've heard us say it on TV before, but once the climate changes, the seasons change, and that freezes up, it's absolutely a highway for those coyotes.
And being in there and seeing all those coyotes, like the one night we went in, there was 15 different coyotes or 18 different coyotes.
Just this year.
Right. And when say a pack leaves, one pack might go north and the other might go south. I mean, they're coming from all different areas. It's not just the river to the south per se.
And we watch all of that. I mean,
right.
We pay special attention to it. But, going back to the very beginning, like I said, you got to have the equipment to be able to set something up like this. Most of the time, guys, a lot of guys don't have the access to 120 to a 200 horsepower tractor with a loader, where they can, with the grapple, they can grab these 12 to 1,600 pound large big round bales, and pile them how efficiently we do for the KILLBOX. And we're going, with the setup here, you'll see from the aerial thermal imaging, we get really elaborate. We make we make a tunnel where we walk in the corner of the stack yard through numerous bales, and then we even set a wall up along the edge of that tunnel so that we're only exposed. We're really not exposed at all. The only time we're really exposed is when we start feeding those bales later on in the season, and the supply of hay starts to dwindle and go down. Then, there's certain gaps where if there's coyotes like, straight south down here, they can see us across sometimes. But until that happens, I mean, we're pretty much completely unexposed until we crest the top of our two-tier bale that we've, the edge of the KILLBOX.
Yeah, and even say you peek up over the edge to shoot, if you were exposed, that's when it's going to be for a split second to get that footage or pull that trigger, And even going as far as leaving a little space so you can film from back behind without being up over the bales, different things that we've done in the past for that.
Yeah, it's like you said, I like the mention of like the windmill and everything. I mean, for us hunting at night, the darker and almost even the windier, not to the extent where it's, 15 to 20 miles an hour,
Right.
but a good steady 10-mile-an-hour breeze, because it masks so much.
Right.
There's a lot of times when there's not enough wind. We don't go because there's no wind. There's nothing to mask your sound getting in
On locations that aren't really the kill box. The kill box, you can, without any wind, we can get in. It just takes us a little bit longer because of the buffer that we've created.
Or even feeding the bulls right next to the fence. So they're right there close. You walk
Exactly.
through them, they're 10 yards from the kill box fence.
And they're always, all night long, they're up, they're down,
yep.
they're getting a drink, they're crunching the snow. So the coyotes don't know the difference between, we prove it. We've got video of it this year where they literally are laying on top of the bales, sleeping, 7 of them.
Well, we walk in, and John ranged that one at 13 yards or something the other night.
And then when I walk in, that one runs in front of us because we're 5 yards away.
Yeah, he peed his pants is what he did.
He did, or I did.
You did.
You should have kicked it.
But yeah, walking in and not knowing what you are, early like that. And they were walking right up to us, 2 different ones.
Yeah, they went right up to it until that one, the wind, he caught a little bit of a skiff, turned around, and he still didn't take off, like he was not going to come back. Yeah. But the design of it, you can see how we make it. It's the corner of a box, and then the other corner is the other part of the box with a couple openings diagonally so that we can get in. And then usually you'll see on the beginning of the video, we turn bales over so that you can that we can stand on them. There's no curvature. There's no arc on the top of those bales. We tip them upside, right side up, so it's a flat surface, and we put half a dozen to 8 bales, and then we can set our guns up there. We can sit up there. We can stand up there if we need to move around. We're not messing with the curvature of the top of those bales.
Yeah. What would we get crazy? Has it been 5 years since we started kind of getting a little crazy on that?
Getting really, really in particular.
Right.
Really in particular on it, where it just, you don't have to do it.
No. And in the past, other places, we've done it with small square bales and not the extreme of the kill box, and we're doing that for, a week, 2 weeks, maybe,
And it works.
And it does.
But this is comfort, man.
It is.
You get in there. And in all honesty, we were talking about this. We have this designed so well in the early season. Those coyotes that are coming in that have never been spooked, never been shot at, I should say. I bet we could drive our pickup right in there and park it.
And that's what you had said even this year, we should just park in there.
Just to try it out.
You're right.
You could just sit in there and chill. Yep. And then boom, as soon as Recon 3 or 2 goes hot.
Yep. And
there's a when we'll go into detail on that too, but so how we stack the bales, and then usually what we do is we've got a double layer underneath that's on the ground, and then we 2-tier it with another row in between those bales. Yeah. And you'll see what I'm talking about. And then what we can do is we stand on the bottom tier and we set our guns on the top tier. And it allows us to have, a lot of guys ask, well, how the hell do you guys get such steady shots? We make a point to have steady shots, whether it's a tripod or a bipod, or we prone out, or we're standing with an awesome rock solid rest, which is what we've got on the top of these bales. And then there's been years where we've killed, I would say, a safe number's 50 plus coyotes.
I was gonna say, I think 2 years ago was probably our best year in there. Not last year, but the year before.
It just was bad news.
It was bad.
We would go in there. That was the year that you killed the quad right off the bat.
Yep. I think that's the year we got that quad and then went back an hour later and killed.
The one was not eaten, but pulling the other one off.
Drug it off a little ways.
And killed like another triple.
Right.
Unreal.
I think we ended up killing 8 out of there that night, just in a matter of 2 hours maybe.
I think you're right. And yeah, we did.
I think that's, and there's some footage of that out, I believe, I think there was 9 or 10 coyotes in at one time on some footage somewhere.
It's on YouTube, and then Chris also did it on Night Crew. But I think that we only got like 7 or 8 on the same screen. But you're looking at the Mark III, that has a 7-degree field of view, which is not a very. If we would have had what we're using now, like the Ricos,
right,
or even with the Reap, if we would have been having that to record, that 12 degree to plus, we would have had, probably all 10 of them
Right.
or more on the same screen. But what we usually do is we set up our kill boxes for a predominant northwesterly wind, usually in the wintertime, unless a front's moving through. Usually those fronts will push, an easterly wind, and we're screwed. That's really the only way that we cannot hit this particular kill box. And then we'll set up other kill boxes, and we might not get as elaborate as this, but we'll set other kill boxes up like you said, and one might be for that wind.
Sure.
So that we have somewhere to go.
And not just that wind, but just if the kill box is not for that wind, so we'll have another kill box or another what have you to take up that space, I guess, that we can still kill.
And if we're screwed at one spot, we're not screwed at another spot.
Right.
And that's usually how we don't, there's only one real wind right here that really dicks us. And that's, like I said, that easterly wind. So we really did, it's not rocket science. It's just common sense if you're a hunter.
Sure.
If you're a coyote hunter and you know what I don't want to say that we know what we're doing, but if you know how to set stuff up, that's kind of how we design stuff. And like I said, what we do, man, from the time that we get in the truck, from the time that we're notified, hey, let's just start from the very beginning, dude. How when we started getting into thermals and really getting into the bait piles, we graduated freaking so fast. We would just freaking tough it out. We would park and we'd walk a half a mile, or we'd walk a mile. And a lot of times at the beginning, absolutely, man, we'd be like, oh, dude, this is awesome. But then guess what starts to happen? Those coyotes aren't stupid, or they don't live forever. You start killing them.
Well, it got so bad that if you stopped and looked at it, I mean, it's almost like if they seen lights or brake lights or anything like that, they were gone.
And that was even later on. What I'm saying is we would walk into those sets, and then it would be a dry set, or there would be nothing on the bait.
So you sit there 2 or 3 hours.
And freaking maybe one would show up. Yeah. And we would get to the point where we're like, you know what, dude, fuck that. We're not just going to shoot one. We're going to wait for two so we can kill two at the same time.
And you're not freaking sitting on nice warm bales. You're sitting in a snowbank out completely exposed.
In Loophole where we left John.
Yeah, the first one we started. First one we did.
Hey, that one wasn't even bad. It was comfortable enough. I fell asleep for like 2 hours.
Yeah, I think that's where the very first one we built, and all you did was push snow up and we dug a hole through it.
Yeah.
And shot through a tunnel.
And we got some pretty cool. Anyway, so long story short, we're walking a half a mile. We're walking 3/4 of a mile. We're doing good. And then the coyotes get a little smarter. They start coming in later, or they come in earlier, or you kill X amount of coyotes, and it takes another week or two for that void to get filled by another coyote or another group. And then we're like, dude, we're walking in here this far and we're getting smoked.
Yeah.
We're exposing ourselves. It's just a pain in the ass. So then what we started doing is like you said, and also those coyotes would affiliate the light source of the pickup with danger from a long ways away. We were seeing it right here.
Yeah.
Where we would park. We'd park over there. How far is that?
Well, it's 1.5 miles at least, isn't it?
In a straight line, I would say, as the crow flies. And we would watch them with our lights on. From that, no kidding, they would start to leave.
As soon as you stopped.
And your lights are on, they would leave. Yep. And then we started putting 2 and 2 together. Like, this is crazy. So we graduated further. We decided to set those up, and that's part of it. We started to set those kill boxes up in a place where we had a line of sight with a high-powered thermal, a long-range scanner. Like we were using the M250XR and then the REAP 60 the next year, which are awesome units for long-range. And we could count how many coyotes were on bait at 2,000 yards.
Yep.
And so we were going to that point where instead of walking in and wasting our time, we would park on a hill with night vision and our lights off and infrared so that nothing was seeing anything. And we'd roll down the window and be like, yeah, James, there's 2 of them there. If there wasn't more than one there, we weren't even pursuing it.
Right.
We were just like, screw it. We'll move to the next one because
come back.
We're getting so efficient at it. Getting 2 trigger pullers or 3 at the same time and taking out multiple coyotes in a second is just, it's come to be the way that we do it now. And then we graduated further yet. Now, instead of having to get in the pickup and burn fuel to get to that hill, to look 2,000 or 1,500 yards away, we've got barn owl cameras set up that ping our phone.
Yep.
And I guarantee you within any time, Recon will start freaking dinging us. Recon 3 will start
I'm
hammering.
surprised it hasn't yet.
And maybe the wind blew it.
Yeah.
Maybe it might have.
Well,
I should trigger it.
It was working this morning, so.
Yeah, I mean, so we're getting so efficient. Little things like that where it saves time. We can be in here reloading. We can be in here doing this, talking to you guys.
At a different bait pile. A lot of times, we'll be at a second or third bait pile, and Recon 3 will blow up, which is the KILLBOX. So we know, as soon as we're done here, we know where we're going. The wind's right or it's wrong. Let's not, So.
And if we see two of them, absolutely, we're going hot.
Right.
But usually when there's one, there's usually at least two or more, even if you don't see them. So those cameras are a huge asset to what we're doing now, because you can command a trigger. Command the trigger is you can make it snap a picture or snap a video anytime you want, and you can set a window. What we were doing is I'm like, gosh, damn, man, we're getting crows and all sorts of shit flying. So I'll just set a window. It sun up, I'll kill it, and then at sunset, boom, it boots back up, and then it's hammering, and then I'll set. I think when we were trying to get a bunch of cool videos or pictures, it was taking a picture or video every minute. I think it's set at 5 now.
Sure.
We watch that cow, that bait, and all of a
she'll
sudden
be half gone in every other picture.
Yeah, every other. You're like, what the hell's
40
going on?
pounds gone off the bait pile.
Yeah, so it works good. I mean, we've got it down to a T where it works good. It's an efficient setup. But think about it. You're investing. We're investing. Those cameras aren't cheap.
Right.
You got to pay for service. You got to know where to
footage. We got to have footage is what we need.
Yep.
Always got to get the footage. So.
And that's what we're trying to key on. That's why a major part of why we designed this how we did.
Which we haven't hammered big time yet this year, as far as
the KILLBOX.
Right.
Yeah, we've only been down there 2 times.
What do you think we got?
2. We were down three
coyotes out of there so far this year.
Quad, triple, and then I think 2. So we were down there 4 times. Yeah. 4 times. And the first time we went down there, we didn't have the thermals.
If we had all of our thermals that we wanted, it
would have been bad.
It would have been a bad deal.
Because I think
that's the night we walked in on 15 or 18 coyotes, I think it was.
Sleeping all over the bales.
Yeah, and that's the one that jumped in your back pocket.
And that's where I was like, screw this, man. I'm going, we can't wait. We're not waiting. We can't wait for thermals.
And we went in strictly for night vision. It was a full moon. We were trying to get our night vision footage that we wanted and whatnot.
I had the A7S3, which is an awesome low light camera. It's a SLR, but what the thing was, we were getting our hands on new thermals, all new thermal this year, and a lot of you guys know what they are. They're the Ricoh Mark 1, and it's basically, a 12 core with a 640 resolution. So you're getting the image quality of the Trijicons, and it has the ability to have onboard recording when you pull that footage. Unreal quality, as long as you have the focus in play. And that's what we've been waiting for. We've been waiting for this for the very beginning, ever since we started running thermals. And so they weren't ready to go. They weren't really they were in the development stages, but they weren't necessarily ready to give us for test and eval. And so now we finally got them. But at the time, we couldn't wait because the KILLBOX was just getting smashed.
Yeah, we were going through a bait.
Bad.
2 baits a week.
Unreal.
Stupid amount. So
we're like, you know what, man, we have to do something in this next full moon. We just got to gear up and go. And John had the Pulse RX P50 LRF. We put on the Knights PVS 30 in front of an NXS.
Yep.
And then we recorded that with a Tacticam at 4K. And John just has onboard recording. And then I was like, screw this, I'm going in without. I wanted to take a gun so bad, but I'm like, man, I'm not going to sacrifice a gun for some 4K A7S3 footage.
And we really weren't going in to murder that night. We were.
We were primarily going in for footage.
Right.
Just to document it.
Yep.
And it turned into
trying to get 2 on one screen so.
Utilize the full moon.
And it turned into a smash fest. I mean, 2-in-1 screen, triple, double.
Yeah, and then a couple follow-ups and
Yep. And then, there's a lot of variance, I would say, in how quick you can go back. Like that one you used 2 years ago, like you said, you crushed a quad, and we come back in there and we're looking with the thermal and like, dude, that coyote's moved. That dead coyote, did you not kill it?
yeah.
And we start looking and we're like, there it is. It's right there. It was literally pulled back. Well, we watched. Then those other coyotes came in, and we saw what happened. They were grabbing that coyote, and that's what happened. You shot that. It's on YouTube. You shot that coyote first. I think you got a double first, and then you came up with a quad, because that coyote was a nasty bitch. It was a big old female that was just whooping ass.
Yeah.
Nothing else they were kind of circling around, but you crushed her, and then you shot another one. We come back and they were freaking hammering on her when she was already dead.
That's right.
And then you smoked out a quad. But so there's really so many variances when you come back. We never had camera set up at the time. Like, let's just come back and check it out and see what's going on.
Right.
And it's a damn good thing we did.
Yeah. And there were, I know.
And now you go to the point where, man, it's almost like the generations learn, where you go in there and you say, oh, dude, you're giving them too much credit. But gosh damn, you go in there and you kill some of them ones that brand new virgin coyotes, and it shuts off for a little bit, and they start coming. It's just such a variance.
And you sit there long enough, it's crazy to watch, how they'll go lay out there and wait for their turn to eat, and then the alphas or the older coyotes will eat their stuff as long as they can. And they'll go out and lay down, and then you see the other ones get up. As soon as they do, they'll get up and come in.
And that's
it's crazy to just sit there and watch that.
Exactly.
To see how that works. And a lot of times, you think those alpha males that come in or whatever are bad. You wait till you get a nasty bitch in there, and she'll run them all off.
Just the other night, we watched. They had to cross the river. The whole,
which is a mile and a half.
Yeah.
Is that about how far it is?
And it was that was a pretty chilly night with that wind blowing. I bet it was in the sink. I bet it was 9 or 10.
It was down there. But like you said, both of us could tell on these Ricos. It's the first thing I said is she must have crossed the river.
You could see it.
And all the time you always say, we ain't going to get them to call. And
I
in
always
the daytime,
say that.
You're always saying, we ain't going to call them across the river. I'm like, dude, they
You're
come
like,
up to
screw
the
that
bait pile all the time with frozen damn icicles hanging off of them, and you can see that in the thermal, the straight line across their back with that frozen water on them.
And like you said, from these kill boxes, how we set up is this, especially the kill box, our kill box. We get in there and we watch, like we were on this last double that we got. We just sat there and that's what happens on those coyotes that are just stupid. They don't, you bust them out. I mean, you have to. They're laying around. They're in where you need to go.
Yeah.
Because they're little.
A lot of times if we do that, like we'll bust them going in on purpose almost. I mean, not spook them all the way out, like haul it, whatever, but they'll run over the bales and they might go out there 50 to 60 yards and lay down.
Yep.
And then they'll eventually come back or they'll provide a shot for you.
But what our goal is the main reason we don't want to like bust them out of their full fledged is because we want to kill the alphas that are booting the little bettas off. So we go in there and bust those out and get in there, and we're sitting watching, like you were saying, how we watch their characteristics. To us, it's funner than hell for me just to see that rather than just go out and let's go shoot some shit with a thermal. But like those
I want to shoot some shit with a thermal.
That last double that we saw come in that we got, they came from, we saw them from the southwest. How far did we? They had to be damn near 3/4 of a mile down there.
Yeah,
way the hell on the side of it. And we watched them and like, you couldn't tell if they were coyotes or deer, but you could see them.
Yeah.
Then they start moving, and then it probably took them a solid 15 minutes,
right?
Half an hour maybe.
Right.
And sure shit, what happens is they separate over that first draw. And that big ass male came in.
And he came in first.
He's the one that crossed the water. Just a fur ball, man. I haven't shot one like that this year that was haired up all over. And that's the one you're like, dude, he crossed the river or something.
Yeah.
Because you could see it. You could see the line in his back.
Instantly, you just knew what it was.
and he made a circle, checked it. You just watched him. He circled right up to us. With the way the wind was, he wasn't going to circle behind us because we've got that petition, that barrier, and he come right into the bait pile. And then before you know it, within a minute, maybe two, here comes that bitch. And he freaking tucked tail, and he was twice.
He wasn't even gonna try her, dude.
No, but he was twice. He was damn near twice her size.
Yeah.
She freaking kinked up, bristled up, and he freaking goes and did exactly what you said. Went across the fence, just laid down.
Yep. He knew what was up.
It's cool to see that.
Yeah.
And you just wouldn't really know it you wouldn't know it otherwise.
And you notice the one, I mean, haven't yet this year, but you saying get in there and get them alphas, you know, let them younger ones, you know, spook them off or whatever. We'll notice if if there's a pack of 4 or 5, you know, the older coyotes, it gets later in the year, them older coyotes will come in and watch the kill box, watch us in the bales. If even if we're, you know, not up over or looking or anything, they'll come in and they'll look right into the kill box looking for us because they've seen it before.
Yeah.
Whether we've shot other ones while they were there,
they know
anything like that. They know.
And it's crazy to see that.
Yeah.
And if we wanted to, I mean, if we weren't so concerned with getting, you know, two or 3 on the same screen,
right,
we could be plucking.
Oh, and that's just it. I mean, they'll go out there, and we usually don't shoot a long ways, you know, at night just because of footage. We want good, crisp, close stuff. But they'll go out there 200 yards and stand there.
Just kind of hang out, and I mean, it's pretty neat to see.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think what else there's. I mean, we pay a lot of attention to the kill box, and like you said, man, in this particular spot, it's not like we put a windmill up for that specific reason, but man, that it's just in a prime location that just so happened to be. You get a little bit of a breeze, that windmill's just ticking away, just hammering. And those nights where that snow is crusty, and it's even if it's not, you get away with so much more. But we've designed it so that, you know, there's the buffer, there's the windmill, there's the bulls that are always tromping around. It's just you know, a force multiplier in the aspect of us being able to get in there stealth mode.
Even down to like where we cross the fence every time we got that staple out. There's just one spot to cross that makes it that much more efficient.
Yep. One guy grabs one side, one guy grabs the other. So the fence, the barbed wire doesn't rattle. There's no noise at all when we cross. And I mean, do we necessarily in the overall scheme of things, do you think you probably have to do that?
Maybe later in the year.
Exactly. Yep. Initially, probably not, but why take the chance? If you can do it, why take the chance?
Right. Yeah. I know the other night we went in, what was it, probably the first or second time we went in there this year. All the weeds were still tall. The snow was knee deep. And I just shook and we still walked in on those pops, dude.
I was sitting there.
I was just shaking my head.
That's when I had the A7S III with that telephoto. I'm just sitting there recording, and that one standing on the bay. There's 4 of them.
Yeah. You walked right out in the open because you kind of wanted to spook him, you know?
Yeah.
And he almost like he walked towards you a little bit, you know, but.
And then right before we got back up on the bales, one of them jumped back up on top in front of us.
Yeah.
And 2 of them, was it the last time that we went down there? The first time, 2 of them never did even get up until we were
2 times ago. That was the same night where night vision.
The initial.
They didn't wake up from the bales until we're getting in on them.
We couldn't tell if they were just a hot spot in the bale or coyotes. Look, there's no way in hell there's 7 coyotes on top of them bales. They've got to just be hot spots.
But they
were coyotes because they freaking jumped up when we got about 20 yards away. They sure as hell did.
Yeah. Yeah. No shit.
But what I mean, gosh, the YouTube video of the kill box is gonna be. I'll tell you what. There's already some videos out there of it. I mean, we've got the initial kill box that we put up on the YouTube channel that I was using an A7S II to film, and Keith got a solo quad, and then Chris came with the night crew. He came down and filmed some stuff a couple different times. And he actually has a whole episode that was on the Sportsman's Channel where, you know, he does a very good job at going over the KILLBOX and how we set it up. It's a pretty cool episode, and it'd be awesome to get him back out here and do even a more elaborate episode. And that's kind of what we should do on our YouTube channel. But gosh dang, I mean, what I'm seeing is guys are want to see more of a fuck, man. YouTube's just stupid. It's just dumb because you put it up and you look at the analytics and you have 5,000 views for the first minute, the first intro that's put together, and then the rest of the guys don't give a shit. You know, you got a couple hundred guys that actually watch the whole video. Then you have a couple 10 guys that watch the end of the video and like, dude, it's so awesome. You guys break it down. And then you get the other dumbass like, you guys need to turn the music down. You got to quit talking about the sets. It's all just stupid. Just go freaking hunt. And I'm like, what? You just like, whatever.
You can't win, dude.
No, you can't. The way I go is, man, when hunting's hunting, what the hell do you do when you go out and you 99% of our sets of our hunts, you're putting in the footwork and the effort to get that millisecond of a trigger pull.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with our videos. You know, I mean, you're gonna instantaneously present the climax of the video and then you're done. No, it's a lot of guys want to see that, but we like to provide a little bit of something, entertainment value, but at the same time, it's relevant.
You wouldn't have nothing to laugh at if that's all we did.
And at the same time, though, it's relevant to the videos. It's like the KILLBOX. The intro, I hope, is real entertaining, but it's not bullshit. It's us setting it up. It's us how we do it. The only real thing that's bullshit about it is maybe the music, you know?
Yeah.
A little bit of tunes to make it a little bit more interesting or more dramatic, whatever the hell you want to call it. It just adds to it.
Ops has got a fetish for editing, so we just go that route.
We could just, it's easy to take video and freaking upload it. It's not super easy to edit it, color grade it, find some cool shit, put it together, cut, splice, do everything, but it's a lot of guys do it. A lot of guys just take pictures and video and post it up, and then frick, they have 100,000 subscribers. Maybe we should just do that.
What have we been doing?
Editing, dumb shit like me.
I haven't.
That's not us. That's just you.
What have we been? What have you guys been doing? Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been sitting here freaking playing chess while he's over there editing.
Yeah.
But
what other questions, Scott?
I'll tell you what. What do you guys? Why do we use net wrap over twine?
I don't. That way the kids have something to pick up.
Dude, if you don't use John Deere net wrap, you are shooting yourself in the foot, because I'll tell you what, you cannot.
Either way, it's still going to have a cheatgrass bale down there at the KILLBOX.
Oh, shit.
I got to pay my kids $20 a night to pick it out of my freaking Titanic clothes.
That's the only thing about KILLBOX that isn't absolutely perfect is that damn cheatgrass bale.
And there's like 2 of them.
Well, the thing is also, too, the fact of the matter is they're bulls, right? So they're not like bred heifers. They're not going to get good third cutting alfalfa. They're going to get shit bale.
Feed them the shit in late January. That way they don't have a choice but eat it.
You know what else the deal is? You notice that James has never had cheatgrass in his hoodie yet?
Yeah, that's because he's...
I'm kinked out on the closer side.
He picks a bale. I'm going to stand right here. You guys come wherever, but I'll be right here. No, it was bad the other night.
It was.
I paid my daughter $20.
You sent me a Snapchat. You sent us a Snapchat.
Leslie said, "Why in the hell don't you just buy a new one?" I was like, "Yeah, I might just do that." And Kendall's like, "I'll do it."
Just buy it. Gosh, that does suck. We could go in there with next time we feed and pull that out. Easy enough. Pull that bale out and put a different one there.
You won't do it.
And I know the other guy won't either.
No.
Probably put a freaking sandbur bale in its place. That'll be worse.
Yeah.
Oh, that
It'll
was
at least be easier to pick out.
Yeah. Trying to think what else. I mean, the KILLBOX, dude. The KILLBOX. It's where shit goes to die. That's all there is.
That is
to
what
it.
that is.
It's just how it is. It's 100% the design. It's like, why the hell do you guys call it that? Because shit dies in that box. It gets killed.
Bad.
And it's not a bragging thing. It's just fucking, you want to stack numbers? What we should do is dig a freaking
And we have
7.
other kill boxes, but none of them produce like that.
There's something there, dude. It's
It
there.
is.
It's the location. And we're going to dig. I just had.
And it's not, I mean, I think obviously the river has a shit ton to do with it. But look at this year. I mean, there's a lot of coyotes coming from the north or the northwest.
And we'll smoke them out either way. But the thing is, I'm going to dig an 8-foot railroad tie in down there, and we're going to start notching shit. That bitch will be freaking whittled down like a lumberjack in about a year from the amount of.
Chopped down.
You'll hit it with your Raptor before you whittle that bitch down.
That's bad. Hell no, dude. We'll whittle that bitch down from putting marks from kills on it. That shit'll be freaking mowed in too.
You'll forget you dug it in and run over it.
Nothing the Raptor can't handle.
I guess.
Jeez, we got some guys.
You have to put a ranch
We got
hand
some-
on the front instead of that ADD.
43 people listening on
There's
out
some
of
of your
40. There you go. That's how you do it. So you get 10,000 followers on Instagram and you have 10 of them that watch a live video.
I'm answering their questions on there for you.
Are you?
Yeah.
I would do a couple on the, what we should do is I was talking about it earlier, just do maybe a weekly podcast and do some questions, or you just answer 5 questions that pop, just because we can get into details on it. Half the shit we might not know what we're talking about. But the kill box is trying to think what else we got going on with it, how we set it up. I think we went over it, man. Set it up with the bales, big round, size of them, the direction of the wind, what factors we have when we're going in to eliminate us being heard or seen. And then the video, this is a precursor to it. But first, before that, we're probably going to upload the quadricep video that Keith just got. We're going to post that up. Working on that right now. Hopefully in about 2 days I'll have it going hot.
Is that what you're going to name it? Quadricep? Or are you going to name it Spike?
No, it's going to be called quadricep.
Is it
Quadricep. Not quadricep,
More like-
quadricep, because they're
more like quad
receptive.
reset?
They're receptive to being killed in quads. That's what I thought about. So I go into detail on the thoughts of the titles too. Got little Easter eggs in them. If you guys haven't figured it out yet, here it is. Hold on, let's do this. That's that dude. All right, so Nathan. All right, shit. We'll just get into a little bit of questions. Wants to know if we zero our thermals or at 50 or 100 yards on everything, even the day rigs. I mean, everything that we zero is at 100 yards, because we're primarily shooting the same calibers with a similar trajectory. The only variance is powder charges, and with the exception of John's Mark 1 that's shooting the different bullet altogether. From 0 to 250 yards, there's not enough difference to worry about that anyway regarding hold. And for what we do, our primary objective is to try to fool that animal, not try to be a sniper. I mean, we try to get that animal as close as we can. Nothing against it, because I know Keith's fucking done it before.
Whoa.
Pulling triggers,
Whoa.
making vapor trails and shit like that. But it's not really our primary gig. With the exception of having equipment that'll do it, we really honestly do try to get them with I would say 95% of our shots at night, if you put it in a percentage, are under 100 yards.
Yeah, pretty easy. And out of that 90%, I bet 50 of those are probably 60 yards and in.
Yep. With the primarily focusing in on the kill boxes.
A lot of times, the only time you get out to that 140 range or 50 range is a follow-up shot, whether that's 2 and 3 coyotes standing around after a double or a triple.
Yep, exactly. And then also the exception is later on in the season where guys are getting ready to start calving and they don't want coyotes, and we're like got enough footage stacked that we're
Murder mode.
content with just kill mode.
And I think where the day footage was good early we'll probably call a little bit more at night this year, don't you think?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
a little more thermal calling, which
we've
done in the past quite a bit.
But we're so stacked with daytime footage.
Right.
We've got such good production quality or production value footage that we've obtained that I mean, all right, let's sort of freaking talk to this X Pulsar Thermion XG50 cold weather. Nope. I've talked to a couple guys. I've never even used the XG, but I have talked to a couple guys that said that owned both the XG and the XP50 and said there wasn't enough of a difference in image quality to justify the extra cost of the XG50. Now, looking at the new units that we're running, there is a significant difference in image quality that you can see. I don't know if it's because of the display, because of the processor, the germanium, whatever, but there's a pretty big difference in the XP50 LRF that John's running and the Ricoh Mark 1s that we're running right now. And we're not, I just talked to a guy this morning from Montana for probably a half an hour while I was feeding, and I'm like, man, you know, we've only been running them for a few weeks. I generally would like to run them in some sub-zero temps.
Just like Tyler said, I don't know how they're going to do in the, you know, in the cold or what have you, but
and I told him,
we're sure as hell going to find out.
Exactly. I said, we'll find out. And with, you know, we're doing some testing on how long the batteries last. They come with a battery pack, how well the zero holds, which they've held plumb fine so far. A lot of different things.
Which we haven't had the cold yet, but
that Pulsar did good in the cold last year. So, I mean, this housing similar, I'd think it'd be good.
Well, we had a good Pulsar. We had the Mark 1 Pulsar last year. This is the Mod 2. The new Pulsar that you're running has the magnesium alloy housing.
I got
and what that was supposed to do was alleviate the zero shifts that guys were having. There was an issue with Pulsar zero shifts. And so what was that question? Cold weather? What was it? The cold weather one? Because I don't know how to do Instagram Live. Oh, there we go. Do you guys have
pulse on the
Yep.
Thermion?
There we go. So basically, I mean, if you guys haven't heard, we did a podcast with Ultimate Night Vision last week. Listen to it because they kind of talk about the Thermions. I'm all about getting a unit that has the option to have an external power source also if it's a safety net, a fail safe, if your battery packs or whatever it operates on goes down or drastically is decreased because of weather conditions. But I know the Thermions also have that potential. But man, when you start, I think they have 2 batteries. That's another thing to worry about. I don't really like the design of the scope because it looks more like a traditional day optic. I can see the mindset behind it, but this isn't the daytime. I mean, if you want to pull that unit easy enough and use it for a scanner or swap it, it's not. You're looking at scope rings. You know, you take this, which is everybody's different. I mean, I'm more of in tune with like the Trijicon units, this Ricoh, the Pulsar, the older Pulsars, the trail versions. I like those personally, but like I said, I can't give you proper insight because we've never ran a Thermion. I know a lot of guys are happy with them, so I'm not gonna badmouth them. The
Overwhites?
I know who that dude is. The overwhites have been all right. So what happened, guys, with those? We're kind of turning the KILLBOX, and that's all right though. We have 40 people. The overwhites I actually designed with a guy and got part of a design pattern from a guy that won the Iditarod. And I'm not going to give any details on who I worked with on it, but we got a pretty badass design and finalized, and I dropped kind of a lot of money on research and development and different materials. Finally got it down, got some Patriot Overwhite multicam Alpine fabric, and the only two pieces of actual overwhites that we have, Keith wears and I wear. And they were supposed to be done this year, but with COVID, it shut down manufacturing. I mean, it completely shut down everything. I was supposed to have, I said it the other day, our HVP hoods were supposed to be going hot. The Bino packs, which actually just finished up with the digital pattern, the Gators, and then the overwhites, all of that stuff was supposed to be rolling, and COVID completely put a halt to it. So I don't know where things are going. It's fun to design shit. It's really fun to design stuff, but it's not so fun to try and source a manufacturer to do it. It's not so fun to put money into it and then not get a return. It's awesome to say, hey, dude, guess what we got? You know, I spent $2,000 freaking building a bino pack that I have one. What the hell does that do? Shit.
Carries your binos, dude.
Yeah. And freaking takes $2,000 out of my bank account.
Yeah.
I mean, shit.
Can't put a price on fun.
But it's cool to get but it's not worth it. I mean, I'm seeing it's not worth it. Until we all of a sudden we're out there some night and we're like, son of a bitch, guys, we need to make this, and nobody else does it, and we know it's going to be a freaking hot deal. It's cool to work with guys, but it takes a lot of time, and that's on a year like 2020, it was just a shit show for it. Entry level thermal. Any suggestions? Now we have 40, 45 guys going hot. It'd be cool to get 50. Entry level thermals, I would say, depending on your price point, usually what I tell guys, save your money. I mean, depending on what you do, if you're going to hunt over a bait pile at 50 yards or 100 yards and take pokes a couple times a week, I can see spending a nominal number on them. But I've been there and done it, man. High school, college, I had to get into night vision. Freaking should have saved up for a Gen 3, got a Gen 1. I think I might have shot a rabbit with it. That's it. And that was it.
Anything, a scope, a rifle. How often have you ever spent money on something and been like, damn, I wish I bought something cheaper? I'm not happy with getting the good one. Every time I've spent the extra money, I've always been happy with it. And everyone I know that spent the extra money has been
For
the
what?
same. Anything.
Oh.
A thermal, a gun, a can, a scope, a car, anything that someone spent extra on, they're always go, geez, I'm glad I didn't cheap out.
But the thing is I always take into consideration that a lot of guys can't afford to do that. And I do understand that. I mean, there's just, with what we do, it is part of our job description, 100%. I mean, yeah, we're not right now contract killers because we don't charge to do it, but we help a lot of guys out. We help ourselves out. It's a lifestyle. And so with that lifestyle, I mean, if you're a race car driver, you're probably going to freaking drive a Ferrari versus a Ford Taurus to win, right? It's the same principle if you're a PRS, if you're a champion freaking marksman, you're probably going to shoot a custom built rifle with hand loads versus a factory over the counter with freaking manufacturer's loads, you know, with over the counter Hornadies. Nothing against them, prefabricated. You probably won't. You'll probably custom tailor it, and that's the same principles that we're real fortunate to be able to use. It's part of our and then to look at it where we actually film and put productions together. It's a force multiplier. It allows us to work with a lot of different guys. Where you've heard me say it before, and I'll say it again, but it allows us to use equipment that otherwise, if we weren't in the situation, we probably wouldn't. You know, we'd be spending a lot of money on stuff that we don't have to right now. But it allows us to get our hands on a ass load of different products. Like I said, the fella I talked to today, he goes, man, I just want to talk to somebody that I can get information from, because you talk to Optics Planet, you talk to Shields, you talk all those places, and you talk to somebody that's never really used it, or they might have used one. So it's fun. Entry-level thermals, like I said, depending on your budget, you could be real happy with a 384 resolution instead of a 640 and save yourself a couple grand. Like a Thermion XQ, or even like a Pulsar XQ50 LRF, which is around that $4,000 mark, a little more. I mean, that might seem like a lot of money, dude, but in the thermal and night vision, night hunting, that's not a lot. That's not a lot when you're talking $9,000 for some high-end Trijicons, or even like the UTC X2s that I was talking to a guy about. They're 26 grand. I mean, it's just, there's some really good equipment out there.
A guy asked what it means to nuke. You can answer that quick.
Non-calibration uniformity. So nuking is just, if you're familiar with photography, a vignette is a ghosting in the corners. So like if I take a picture and I want to highlight the subject, what you try to do is you kind of shadow the corners to bring your subject into not focus, but into perspective, so people notice that. And in a nuke, it's a similar thing, because what happens is you start getting ghosting in your image. It starts ghosting around the corners. You might get a washed out image in certain instances. When I was using the Skeeter, the Trijicon Patrol, a lot of times it would just fizzle out. You'd get lines eventually in the screen. And when you would nuke it, it would be like somebody taking a washcloth and just cleaning it off. You just, boom, you wipe it, and boom, it's clear again. And for us, we're constantly nuking because we're filming. We want to have that crystal clear image. So a lot of guys that I talk to about thermals, they don't know about it, and I make sure and tell them, because they just don't know. They have no idea. All of a sudden on some of the Trijicons, it'll pop up, sensor needs to be nuked, and like, what the hell is this? What's this mean? Something's wrong.
And the higher humidity nights, you notice you got to nuke more.
Exactly.
Rather than a colder nights that are lower humidity.
There's certain nights where all of a sudden you start seeing that vignette or the shadow or something, and you got to nuke it.
Yep.
And
some nights
you don't even have to it's
right.
Once every 15, 20 minutes, but it's not a pain in the ass. A lot of guys get scared of it.
Quick deal.
Yeah, it's nothing. Like, and even with the new units that we're running, like with all the Trijicons, it was a single-handed op. You'd set your heads-up display with the toggle switch. For me, I would just flick it forward with my thumb, having my hand over my germanium, and the germanium was recessed inside the housing, so you never came in contact, never had to worry about scratching that surface.
Right.
You just put it up, boom, flash, nuke,
and some
done.
of them you can just automatically have them do it.
Yeah,
but where we switched to manual, so it's not doing it right during a clip that we're recording or something like that.
Exactly. But like Trijicons, you'd have to cover the lens. Even if it is on manual, you would have to cover the lens because it didn't have an internal shutter. Now, like the Trijicons or the Pulsar, like John's using the other night, where we got you and Keith shot that double.
Yeah,
that was that
nuked
one
on 2.
Exactly. And that's where you could kick yourself in the nuts if you're not paying attention, because at least it gives a countdown. So you got to pay attention. I think it does.
I know the one last year did, but I don't remember seeing a countdown on this one. I could be wrong. I might have just missed it.
But anyway, I mean, we were counting down, and his was like 2 seconds ahead of the kill.
Yeah.
And it freaking nuked, and then it was 2, 1, and you guys made the double. But you can absolutely dick yourself if you're not paying attention. And so with these newer units that we're using, and even like the Pulsars, they have what they call an internal shutter, so you don't have to manually cover the lens. You can leave that lens exposed with the lens cap open. On these new units, just boom, quick press of the power button, nukes, internal shutter wipes it, done. I mean, they're getting it figured out. It's so much easier.
Seconds. I mean, not even
a hold up.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, there's no a millisecond of a delay.
Right. It's about as bad as flicking your safety off. It's nothing.
Yeah, it is, seriously.
But in the overall realm of coyote hunting, it's a high speed game. I mean, that's all it takes to have a dick. I mean, just think if you would have had that nuke on you probably still would have made the kill shot, but it would have been a goofy ass deal, because it would have been nuked, paused after the kill was made, and you're like, what the hell? So that's if there's some other stuff on there, we could sure go over it. I mean, shooting at 200, yeah. Yep, that's what the nuke is, and it's like NUC it's an abbreviation for non-uniformity calibration. And if I'm wrong, call me out, because I don't care.
Yep.
And Logan, son of a bitch.
Logan, what the hell?
Your phone is my phone's on the table, and I'm freaking have the jitters, dude, from coffee. So my shit's shaking. If it is, we apologize. Hopefully you can at least listen to the audio.
I think it was covering your mic up on the bottom.
Oh, gotcha. Well, I put it on a little tablet that I was going to take notes on. So
yeah.
And then, okay, guys, that's a good question. I mean, holy shit, we could go for however long we want, but
Nathan can switch his to manual nuke. It says he's always nukes when he's ready to shoot.
What's that now?
On his thermal, he said it always nukes when he's ready to shoot.
Well, don't shoot when it's about ready to nuke.
Just wait 3 seconds.
No, that's just got to be bad luck, dude.
Yeah.
It's sensing your freaking trigger squeeze.
Yeah. Lighten your trigger.
It's just trying to make a picture clear for you.
Then we got this TRM 260, which I don't know you guys' names because everybody's got different usernames, but your real names. What about clip-on versus doing a dedicated thermal sight? Okay, the only clip-on, I always say go 100% dedicated weapon sight. Designate a platform for one application.
And we went over that in the Ultimate Night Vision podcast too.
Quite a bit. We did. There's a lot of info there to listen to if you want to go into more detail. But if you don't want to, we'll tell it real quick. The thing is the clip-ons. I mean, unless you're willing to invest a crazy amount of money, like there's a FLIR T70 I was looking at years ago, and then you have like the UTCX2 made by Trijicon, who was Oasis, who Oasis used to make it, or maybe they still do Trijicon bottom. Anyway, you're looking at like $25,000+, and that's what Tyler had. Remember that? You looked through it. I looked through it. We freaking used it a little. Unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal. If I could own that, it would be, and be able to efficiently record without having to rig some goofy ass shit up and make it be a pain in the ass, I would use it because gosh damn, dude.
How is that any different than how we're recording in years past though?
It's just a pain in the ass now.
Yeah.
I mean, now we've got these where you don't.
It's stupid how we were doing it. And now, like, you know, we don't have any exterior, anything
nothing
attached or
not trying to power.
Holy shit.
There's not a phone and a cord wrapped around your bolt handle to a battery.
But it was the only way to show how well that thermal, we did Trijicon a lot of justice by doing that.
Yep.
Because everybody else, I mean, you get a DVR and you hook up to it, it's just junk footage. So like a clip-on, man, basically what we talked about with Ultimate Night Vision, what Rich was saying is the clip-ons, once you get them on, unless you're willing to spend a significant amount of money, it's for a very close range because you have to keep your optic at low power in order to make it actually usable without getting real pixelated. With Tyler's, I messed with it, man. I cranked that up, his day optic up to like 10, and I'm like, wow, this would be the cat's ass. But I mean, it's a unit. I don't even know what the germanium is on that, if it's a 75 or what the UTCX2 is, but Jeepers Cripes, man. And it sticks out there. You start adding weight and getting a lot of, increase in the diameter and putting it in packs and worrying about hitting it on shit. But man, for flat out, if you wanted to take some long range shots at night,
right?
Oh, that would be, you could crush like you do during the day if you just wanted to kill.
Right.
That would absolutely be the way to go. But like I said, you're looking at spending a lot of money, and most guys aren't willing to do that. So I always tell guys, designate one platform for what you're going to do. We have multiple. We got 3 designated night rigs, 4 or 5 designated day rigs. But like I said, once again, a lot of guys don't have that option. And a really good thermal clip-on would be a nice option.
Yeah.
If
and you probably see the thermal as an optic, and then the next year they're saving to invest in a scanner.
Yeah,
it'll double your numbers.
And then you go helmet mounted, hands free.
Yeah, it'll double your numbers.
The one thing that I'm getting used to this year that I've noticed is when we were recording behind Trijicon, we did not have to raise up our eyepiece. You know, you could keep your thermal monocular down, and I'm always telling guys, never did.
How you had your setup is you could do that. I mean, I couldn't because I had mine on my right eye dominant. I had it on the right side.
Oh, I got you.
So, but how you had your set up was perfect for that.
Yeah, I would roll up my PVS 14, and it would be out of commission as soon as we're out of the vehicle.
Yep.
But then either the Skeet or the M300W or now the MH25 would be on my left eye.
Yep.
But I would never have to fold that up and out of the way to make a shot because the thermal was so far in front of your cheek weld that you could hold it and just look at the screen way up here. And then you would shoot and make a kill shot, and you just would keep on looking, and it was nice.
Right.
But with this, to get proper eye relief,
the thing about it is people probably don't understand is we've never actually shot a thermal shouldered. I mean, for say,
like daytime eye relief,
right?
Like a day optic,
looking through it how you're supposed to because we had a recording device on the back side of it.
Exactly.
So you could do that kind of thing.
And now what I'm seeing, it's going to be even a little bit more of a learning curve because you have to roll it up out of the way, or
Yep.
hit your G24 or
Yep.
G22, click it, fold it up and out of the way. You can roll it up and out of the way, but if you got a PVS 14, even if you have them rolled up, you can come in contact with that.
Right.
And I'm noticing that.
Yep.
And that's a whole nother aspect because it makes a click, man. It makes a little bit of a noise, and you got to be careful regarding alerting anything. So, what else was there? So no more questions on that.
Thoughts on the Halo LR?
Okay, guys, we don't have any particular ties to any specific night vision and thermal, which is right now for us a blessing because I'll give you, we don't like to badmouth manufacturers. I don't do it. If we had an issue with something, yeah, and probably they may have resolved it, but the Halos are good. The N-Vision optics, one of the guys reached out to us and wanted to work with us a couple years ago. And, you know, I'm like, it's always flattering and humbling to be able to have that option. But I'm like, man, I would rather not. I'd rather just get my hands on different units. Well, we had a Halo LR, and it was set up to run an external power source, right? Otherwise, we're burning through CR123s like the Trijicons. But what was happening is we had a Halo LR, and we would plug in an external power source, and you would shoot, and the crosshairs and shit would shut off, or the whole unit.
Yep.
And you'd have to push a button and it'd light back up. And so we got rid of it.
And that could have been because of the cold.
But we got another. I think we got another one in the same. Well, and I talked to Tyler, and Tyler said there has been known issues running an external power source with these. And for us, it's so much easier just to walk away.
Yep.
And go. I don't want to deal with it because we need something that we're not going to throw away. CR120. We're not going to buy 200 CRs and toss them at the end of the year and have to worry about coyotes coming in and them going down. We need a reliable external power source if we're going to run a unit like that. And it wasn't there. So we said that. We're like, hey, dude, if you want us to get something, if we need to have something reliable, we didn't. But you guys that are in warmer conditions, like you said,
yeah,
they're good quality. They're right in line with Trijicon and these Ricos for image quality. They're the same 640 resolution, 12 core. I think they even have an OLED display, but I mean, I don't want to pretend like I know everything, but they are a very good quality. And you get the Kool-Aid drinkers, man. You get guys, I see it online, don't say nothing. But there's guys just like suppressors. They're going to drop 5, 6, 10 grand on a thermal, and that's going to be the best. Yeah. And it may very well be for them, but we find out a lot of shit that works and that doesn't work. And we're still finding out stuff about these. We're going to. Hopefully we don't find out bad stuff. But
if it's there, we're going to find it, though.
We'll find it.
Yeah.
Because that shit will get frosty and freaking our fingers will stick to it eventually. And we'll see if zero shifts or shit shuts down or how long the battery longevity is in cold conditions. All sorts of stuff we're really excited to try to figure out. We're not getting into the... Did you see what Joe said? Get a manufacturer in Harrington. Joe, I'll set up a freaking sew shop for you. Which one were you laughing at?
Where the hell's Black Snow at?
I know a guy with a building up there will probably rent you, Joe. Cheap.
We're not going to get into suggest for call. Well, we're going to do a podcast with Fox Pro. We use a lot of Fox Pro stuff. They're made in America. We love to use stuff that's what we should just do a podcast and talk about certain things, but I'm not going to get into too much on that because we're going to be doing a podcast with Fox Pro. We've got it written down, and that's what we use. And a lot of guys are like, man, Fox Pro is what wrecked it. Everybody's using a Fox Pro. They can tell the difference. Maybe they can, but if you have a little bit of ingenuity, you can add your own calls to a Fox Pro, man. You don't have to be encrypted sound files like a lot of the other ones. Wildlife Tech, some other names out there. I'm not bad-mouthing anybody because I've ripped sounds. I will rip sounds off of anything, and I will put it on a Fox Pro because it'll play that shit.
I ain't going to tell you what sounds they are.
We've got Octane.
Yeah.
What else do we have?
John.
We got Spike.
Yes.
Freaking all sorts of shit,
we
man.
Got Bear, or Gas.
Gas, Octane.
Yeah.
Octane gas, hot fuel. All sorts. I mean, we got sounds that we play that we just record on. I've got a Zoom, a Z6 or H6 Zoom mic, and we'll get crystal clean audio with that. And I'll clean it up in Adobe Audition and freaking put it on the Fox Pro. That's huge.
Look at Joe.
Joe, play the rabbit.
Watch the next video. I'm done with it. I can't do it anymore. It's just gonna go hot. I'm not freaking cutting audio out of shit. You guys, okay, what else we got here? All right.
You're way back there, dude.
Am I really? Is there that many going? We got 50 guys. Jeez, too bad we couldn't get 100 on these. We'd really be freaking thinking, be cool. What else? You guys are reading them? Where are we at?
It says you boys ready to try some of our Eclipse thermal fabric for a hide?
I know the new shit that we're getting has freaking infrared. What did he call it? IR masking or something. He had a name for it that you can't see. It has no IR, any kind of, you use any kind of IR light, the fabric is just dull. We're getting some pretty cool stuff that's supposed to be going, but we will use it. I mean, 100%. Decent night vision binos for calling. Night vision binos or thermal monocular.
Yeah, go thermal.
Thermal monocular, unless you want to get some 31s.
Thermal.
How far am I down? Any insight on the bearing? No, I've never used any. I've never messed with those bearing. I know if you're on a budget, there's a Rico Bravo that's basically introductory version of the Rico Mark 1. If you're on a budget, take a look at it. It's got the 384 resolution, I believe. So it's going to be significantly less than the Rico Mark 1. And the Rico Mark 1's pretty damn affordable for what it does. No. Never used a PVS in conjunction with any EOTechs. Never have done that. Right here, Balzac, play the rabbit. Oh, that's funny. Wildlife Tech. Yep, I agree. I've talked to the fella. I want to say his name is, gosh dang it, I talked to him. He was going to come out here. He actually filmed for Nat Geo. He filmed some stuff. Bill, I think is his name. If I'm not, he knows a lot, or he thinks he does. But we use a lot of Wildlife Tech, but it's, like I said, you can't add sounds. The range from the remote to, if you don't have that call elevated, what we found is very finicky. We'll go into that something else. We'll go into that on a different podcast, e-calls or something. And we're not going to talk about vocalization and stuff like that. I know a lot of guys you'll get it.
Trial and error.
Any insight on having special guests such as Nick Irving? Who's that? Who's Nick? Oh, dude, I know who that is. That guy's, isn't he that freaking sniper that's always on Demolition Ranch? I bet. Yeah.
He's not the Reaper dude.
Are you sure?
Is he?
I think so. Google it. You got your phone, dude. I don't want to freaking I think it is.
I think it is too.
It would be cool. My kid watches I've watched Demolition Ranch, and Rush watches like Flair. We were going to have Flair come out. He's a good dude.
He was supposed to come out last year.
That son of a bitch. He was supposed to come out and shoot the first coyote he's ever shot. I don't think he shot one before.
I think he went south.
Yeah, he did. Tyler's cobbed him.
Yeah.
I think that's him.
No, absolutely. It would be cool, man. We've talked to a lot of guys before that movie with that Navy SEAL movie that had who's the guy that played in the freaking
That's who it is.
The guy from Texas that was a SEAL that got killed by another vet.
Oh.
Chris Kyle.
Yeah.
What's the movie? American Sniper, right?
Yep.
Okay, I've never seen that movie. Anyway, the dude that played his spotter, I talked to him. He wanted to come out and film and said, dude, I don't give a shit. I'll freaking kill him with a knife. He said, I don't fuck care. I just want to and I got put in touch with him with, I can't remember who it was. Never happened.
Yeah.
I mean, just.
He could have killed one out of the KILLBOX the other night with a knife.
He could have with the freaking, with the katana. Yep, that's who it was. The Reaper, dude. That's who. I knew that name. I thought it was an NFL or something. I thought maybe it was
kind of yoked like it.
Probably. Yeah, that'd be cool. There you go, Bradley Cooper.
Yep,
that's the
there
dude.
You go.
So
look at. Are the Raptors for hunting purposes or ranch work?
Dude,
depends.
You want
his first Gen 1 was a ranch rig, man.
It got ranched out. I hauled, to do the math on this, 1,300 gallons at 11.25 pounds per gallon. I towed the shit out of that stuff. That was 3200 fertilizer. I freaking used that Raptor and pulled probably, I'd figured out, at least 20 loads of that to pivots. And it chased cattle, and it freaking was way over the tow capacity, way over. Go, if you guys are on the Ford Raptor forum, search how much can a Raptor tow, and you guys will get some wicked links to look at.
Isn't there a fuse they should look at too? Look up a fuse.
Yeah, but it did. That was the truth.
That was for real.
Yeah, that was a true. That was because remember we freaking killed on us. Yeah. Anyway, no, dude, Raptors are the way. So awesome for what we do. I mean, it's a truck that's made for what we do.
Yeah.
Do you have to have a Raptor to get to sets? No, you don't.
But you want one.
Yeah, they're nice, dude. Off road, awesome. Yeah, infrared. Oh, vehicle headlights. I don't know. We were kind of looking at something like that too, but we just
get some
use
ultimate night
pods.
vision pods.
Pods are like a little IR light bar. We had a 10-inch light bar and pods, and we had them wired into the auxiliary switch on a Raptor with the auxiliaries, or you can get it. They come with the switch too.
Yeah, we just did away with those though because we had the.
I just got a new Raptor for myself, not a new year Raptor, but a newer one that had only 15,000 miles on it because I like the terrain and I like the 6.2, and I didn't want to start cutting into shit. I didn't really want to start, which is, I'm a little puss, dude. I just need to do it. Just need to cut it. Just need to go into it.
Give it another year, he'll have it cut to shit.
I don't know. Anyway, here it is, the KILLBOX. That's it. Yeah, go like you were saying, do that. Turn it over.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's how you do it. You know, I should almost put a teaser on the beginning of this video, but hour and 15 minutes, man. Has 3 hit? Has 3 went hot at all?
No,
Maybe
2 has.
Okay. That's all right. That'll work. Trying to think if there's anything else, man. I'm probably gonna kill the Instagram. That was pretty cool. We had 50 guys max on there. I wasn't really paying attention, talking some stuff. But the KILLBOX. Anything else that you guys want to? Any questions before the last 5 minutes? We're going out. We're gonna start hammering with the thermals. Try to get some more footage. The wind just died. I think that we've kind of went over. I'm trying to think of anything that we can get additional info on for the KILLBOXes. Like you said, man, we set up a KILLBOX in a lot of different places, but the KILLBOX, the Gen 1, the Mark 1 KILLBOX is the freaking hot spot. Yep, cold weather boot, Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, Mickey's.
Dude, we get acclimated
100%.
pretty good though. There was a dude that sent me a picture this morning and he went from, I don't know where he lives, but he went to Wyoming to hunt, and it was some sub-zero temps. He said, I don't know how you guys do that. And I said, we go fingerless in that shit, dude. Not trying to be tough, but we do. I mean, we do. We go fingerless, but it's easy. I mean,
I think it's stupidity more than anything.
dude, it's really, I mean, I like the feel of the trigger,
But
and it's
everything's, the hands-free scanners, the helmet mounted.
You gotta be able to touch that stuff. Yep. You gotta be able to get in there. In the time that you don't get what would be at the nastiest footage ever. And it's nothing. We just take our fingers, our hands, and stuff them right up underneath it's easy. I mean, the only time that my hands really honestly get cold is when they're fully exposed all the time when I'm operating the camera. Like the other night, you guys could freaking stuff them in, and mine were freaking always out, and I freaking locked them up bad. But feet the same way. We go out, you kind of get used to it. On really, really cold nights, we run those Mickey Mouse boots, which are your feet won't get cold in those, but they're cumbersome as hell.
Gunworks tripod.
Is it squeaking cold? Nope.
It's the shit.
That's the way to the Revic, dude. Get one. Tell them that O'Neill Op sent you too. I'm just waiting for my Area 419 Arca rail to get on this stock right here, because all of our Murad IRs have the Arca rail already integrated into the weapon system. John put one on his night rig that came with, so the Revic tripods come with an arc rail that you can mount on your rifle, and it's slick. How long it take you to mount it?
A minute or two.
You got to do some
couple minutes.
You got to do some gunsmithing. Maybe not Chad Dixon gunsmithing, but
just drill some holes.
Those Gunworks tripods are awesome, man.
Yeah, they're good.
Lightweight, you can fold them. What you guys are doing, you're folding them right up just like a bipod.
Yep.
Underneath the fore end of your
Fit
stock,
right into the pack.
and that's one right there. You can't see it on Instagram, but on the YouTube, you'll be able to see it. And yep, like he said, boom, slide it right in the Eberly stock pack, because we're running the packs with they call them tactical scabbards, a little bit wider for the wider profile, or the external mag, ARs, etc. They fit right in there. Pull them out, and once you're set up, it's really stupid that we haven't done that more than what we have.
Right. Yeah, they're good. They're the shit.
Favorite stock, we can do that too, dude. I'm in love with that.
You are.
Gunworks Verdict stock. I like that shit. Manners.
I'm a T5A guy.
I like Manners. I do. I like the Manners PRS-1 that I'm running on my night rig. All the Manners are nice, but I really do like the looks. What would you say? The modern, maybe, or it's kind of a hybrid tactical hunting. It's a freaking tough looking stock.
I'd call it hybrid.
Yeah, it's kind of it is. I mean, you look at that thing, man, that's just bad news. There's so many that's awesome, because look, you can adjust the elevated cheek piece. We should just almost do stuff on.
It's hybrid everything.
Yeah, you can. It's got an adjustable, so you can adjust the grip so that it's more of a vertical grip up and down, and it's a nasty big one. I've got that grip on my Creed, and I think you kind of like those bigger. Maybe not.
I like the smaller.
Okay, gotcha. And then it's got, I mean, the Arca. It's got the forend a pick rail for your, quick detach Atlas or ADMs, and then it's also got the EFR on it. They're nasty stocks, man. That one's pimped out, murdered out in black with a little bit of dust over black Cerakote over carbon fiber. That looks tough, man. We'll be doing reviews on those. Yeah. That's what your rig is. That's your rig.
I'm even the climber. I mean, it's pretty plain Jane, but just the grip is.
They're tough.
Yeah,
they're
sweet.
We, like you said, what we should do is get a climber stock with that big, heavy M24 profile, contoured barrel.
Yeah,
like the tan.
It's not in here.
It's out in my pickup. Yeah, that's a wicked setup. How many elk did you get, dude? I'll go look at my gut. Check this out. See that? See that for elk? Guy just brought it in tonight. Let me cover up the guy's. Those are elk teeth, dude. And it's freaking the 15th of January, and I'm still checking shit in. Look at that. There was another one I was looking at. East KILLBOX set up with the east-west river bottom. Set the box up facing north or south. Okay, dude, so the river flows in this particular situation to the east, and it runs east and west.
Yep.
There's a couple jogs that go north and south for maybe a quarter of a mile, and it's not north and south. It's angular. It's more like northwest to southeast.
It's just winds. It's east. It runs east runs east, but it's
primarily
east and west, and it's it's like jogs, like you said. It's got snakes in it. So
we're setting the KILLBOX to the north of it approximately a mile and a half.
Yep.
And the KILLBOX faces to the west, but we're focusing our kill bait, or we're focusing our bait where we're shooting from the KILLBOX more towards the west southwest.
Yep.
Not even really the south. Yeah, it might be the southwest.
It is.
Right at the southwest. And then what that does is it's just how the layout is. I mean, it's right in a fence line. In fence lines, that's another thing. Coyotes travel those fence lines. I mean, it's just a natural trail that those coyotes move.
There's a fence line on the east border that runs straight north and south.
Yep.
It's on the east border of the KILLBOX.
And it comes
north and south.
Comes right up from the river.
Coyotes will come up out of the river and hit that fence line and come straight north into that.
And then hit it right about sometimes 10 yards from the KILLBOX.
Right.
And then they circle it. So what we've done is we've got it would be the south edge of that KILLBOX. And they kind of hit that, and it's like a trap, man. It's like a foothold trap. How guys lure them in.
Yep.
They funnel them. It's a funnel, man. It gets them, it kinks them in, and they circle in instead of going. Every once in a while, we'll get coyotes on there, and then they'll circle behind us. But like they're doing what you said. They're going back to the north. They're getting out, and that's just the way they came in, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, the two of the other night did that.
Yeah. Let me see this. Yeah, so that's hopefully that answered your question for that.
The guy's asking about your bino packs.
Don't know the price yet, man. They're wicked. They're gonna be cool. They've got a lot of options. We'll be doing a lot of stuff, and then I just finally got that done. It's been 1.5 years, 2 years, but the digital pattern is done, and I just got to get them into production. I got to find somebody to do it competitively. I'd like to keep it in the States. I could go to freaking Taiwan or wherever it is, Japan or Korea, and have it like honestly done for probably $15 and sell them for $200. Or I could do it in the States and have them done for $100 to $150 and sell them for a nominal number. It's just, you got to do what you got to do to make it worth your time. And I got to make a little bit of money on it, but they're good. I like these ones because everything about them is furnitured out except for the back panel that's black over there. It's supposed to, they will change that. That is designed, but to be tan. But with COVID, the wait time for that specific fabric was like 6 months out, so they couldn't do it.
LRI rifles. John's night rig's still in an LRI.
So is this one.
So yeah, this one too.
We're not just going to give them up. What's the plan for the CR Motto with no optic in the background?
It's a Mark 1.
Yeah, that's a Mark 1, man. That's got the Manners T5A with the elite shell, and then it's got the SR3 Bighorn Arms SR3 action with Hardy Rifle and Engineering, 18-inch barrel, carbon fiber wrapped. That was, I don't know. It's just
I see
so fucking look.
6 scopes you could throw on it if you want.
We were gonna pick and choose what we felt. I like the PRS stock just because it's a lighter. I don't know. I like. It doesn't even matter, dude. They're all good. They're comfortable. It's just chilling up there, looking cool. Hopefully for the Instagram live video. Hope. So yeah, we are running LRI. We're actually in the mark, or we're actually have Chad lined up for a podcast. He said to do it anytime. He said, call anytime. I'm ready to rock and roll. And then there's a guy that said, try T&K hunting out of Rapid City for building your bino harness. I saw some dude tagged me in that on Facebook today. Maybe you too, I think he did. O'Neill Ops. He tagged me in O'Neill Ops. What gave you guys the ideas of the KILLBOX? That's a good question to set it up.
It was my idea. It was all me.
I went down there, dude, like probably, and I think I still have it. I had an old silver handy cam that was not even HD. It was standard definition. And I went down there and I was going to do a video and I was going to call it The Nest. Fucking not lying. You guys probably don't even know that.
Yeah,
I was going to call it The Nest.
This yet.
Because I had some bales down there and they were all single level, nothing built up. I was a little freaking K-nest, dude.
Were you with your boyfriend when you came up with this?
It's all nested out.
And I sat in it. I just sat in there, dude. And I'm like, this is a freaking comfortable. And coyotes came in on the east side from Brad's.
Yep.
And it was about a half an hour before it was too dark to see. And they smelled me. This was, gosh damn. Well, when I had that little, Joe would know. When I had that little standard, that had to be 15 years ago, right out of college. And I don't know why. There was something died down there, and it was honestly that long ago.
Dude, you know what? I do remember that because I'm pretty positive you put me up that windmill and I had your handy cam and was going to record it because I threw my hoodie away. I got so damn much oil on it.
Maybe. That might have been another time because we were going to try. I remember, to be honest, a long time ago, I got into coyote calling comps with Keith and my grandpa one year, and I don't know, I think grandpa was with me and he sent me up the windmill and he had an old lever. I wanted to freaking shoot a coyote so bad with that lever action 30-30 open sight, and I climbed up that windmill and freaking he called from the bottom and freaking coyote come blazing in from right where they come to KILLBOX, and fuck, I was all over the board. Just no way it was going to happen through those horse weeds. So we have always known that they were down there, but I mean, that's kind of the layout. It's always been there and it's always happened. But I graduated from that to like, hey man, there was a little bit of not even kidding, dude. I know I've got that on my hard drive and it's called The Nest. And I've got footage of coyotes coming in. That'd be cool to kind of put it. It wouldn't be very good footage at all. But it's just an ideal spot, man. And if you do it, if you get out there enough and you see the characteristics and the layout of the land and you start hunting, and we've always called there. Like you did, like Keith, when we were in high school, we'd always go down the river and call. We'd always made sets, and there's always coyotes down there. So we knew it. It wasn't anything out of the ordinary to set something up like this.
Yeah.
And they're there. I mean, shit, it went hot. It's always been there. Why does John?
Brett, that's because I'm dumb enough to volunteer for it still.
What 2009 was the reaction of the deer video, Sony? Yeah.
No, that's because you don't have a choice.
XR 550, Sony HDR. Yeah, that's just what Joe said. 2009. So that was freaking a long time ago. That was probably I did that similar within that time frame. So it's been down there. What else? Yep. That's it, dude. That's it. Guys are falling off. We're at an hour and a half. KILLBOX. Anything else you guys can think about that?
When are you gonna send that video hot?
What I want to do is I want to go one more time with the moon, getting probably
Which is what?
3/4 within the next couple weeks, right?
I was gonna say
The 15th, 10 days.
I think the 29th, is that what you said, the next full moon?
I wouldn't mind going in and just smashing some and doing like what we always do, kind of talking about it instead of just having a video and then done. So if we can get that with the A7, and now that we've got the new thermals, as soon as we could do it right now. We're sitting on so much footage. The intro is pretty much done. It's just piecing it together, and it could go hot anytime. But I want to get this quadricep video out and hopefully get it going viral. I'm probably going to do a little bit of you know what else? You see a lot of these guys out there, man. I'm getting on all of a sudden I'll be out feeding, and all of a sudden, YouTube, recommended video will pop up, and it'll be like everything but some chick that's butt ass naked, and it has to do with coyotes. Some fucking crazy ass thumbnail. Oh, freaking most extreme bungee jumping coyote kill shot. These guys are whoring themselves out to get thumbnail, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna freaking put 4 coyotes attack dog to death in 4K for your quadricep. I mean, son of a bitch. I'm like,
clickbait.
We've been sitting there putting like legit titles and stuff for 10 years and getting nominal views, and these guys go out there and take a freaking Kodak HD camera and say some kind of thumbnail that just draws millions of views. So I don't know. We'll see.
Joe. Did you see Joe's?
You want some science stuff?
Oh, as soon as they freaking give us a legit freaking, I don't know who those guys are. That anyway, biggest coyote. You can't do that. You can't compare the KILLBOX coyotes because they're all 50 pounders, man.
Yeah, because they sat there and ate 30 pounds of meat.
We just sit there and let them do it, man. No, they're not.
But
full
no,
enough yet.
we've shot some big ones out of there.
Yeah,
50 pounds isn't out of the realm.
no,
by
but
any means.
but you I mean, like you said, you take is it a legit 50 pounder? No, I mean it's got 15 pounds of. You watch a dog eat a pound of hamburger like it's nothing.
Right.
They do the same damn thing with 5 pounds of meat, 10 pounds, and then like you said, I want to see them go out there and puke that shit up.
Well, we watched them do that before, not the KILLBOX, but we watched them out of I think it was up at Jeff's.
Yeah.
Like
On video.
4 or 5 years ago.
Wasn't it on?
He was running and eating and then hauling ass out in the pivot and then digging it up and puking it and then
Right
burying
off the
it.
road with
Yes.
thermal.
Yes.
And we were like, what the hell is he doing? He was doing that.
Yeah.
It was like a dog burying bones.
Yep.
He was
run in
getting
and
mouth.
eat, fill a mouthful
Go back.
or a stomach or whatever, and then he'd go out and puke it up and bury it and then go back and get more.
Yep, exactly.
Did it a couple times.
And the thing is, at the KILLBOX, we probably never see that because there's a draw there where they can just miraculously appear and disappear. So the coyote, the KILLBOX, I mean, the heaviest, I would say we probably have killed a 50 pounder out of there, but it's
It's not like we weigh them or, yeah, we might say, holy shit, this is a huge coyote, and then move on. But I would say 50 pounds is probably
about it.
Yeah, but that's a big ass coyote.
Yeah, and you know what? We go into the kill box and we black everything out. Now we're to the point where we can get probably with how we set the bales up with the pickup. We usually take Keith's Raptor because it's a Gen 2, and it is significantly quieter than the Corsa that's on mine.
And we don't want stock.
Yeah. So we get probably a half a mile, 600 to a half a mile away, 600 yards to 800, and we park it, and we just cut a straight line pretty much diagonal straight at that kill box. And usually we navigate in there without lights, especially late season. We're going in pitch black. We have the PVS 14 where we can go in without having any kind of artificial light exposure. And then we walk in, navigate with thermal. If there's enough light, we'll use the PVS 14s and go with some kind of star or moonlight. If not, we just drop down the MH25s, navigate with thermal, and a lot of times going in, there's always coyotes before we hit it. But in this case, we don't. We just let them be. Slowly bust them out.
Dude, Joe asked a good one. You surprised that wolves have the green light now?
Nope, because according to almost all of the GF&P, there's not any here anyway, right? No, but I kind of am, to tell you the truth, because with the shit show of everything that's going on, why wouldn't they try to regulate them still?
I thought they'd just kind of keep ignoring that people think they're here.
They kind of, isn't that kind of what they did? They just didn't recognize them as existing here.
Right,
So what if you shot one?
So if you shot one anyways, well, we didn't have them here, so you really didn't shoot one.
So now we're good.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a wolf. If it's not, I haven't even looked at it. I don't even care. The chances of us fucking seeing one are.
We've never seen one. I mean, everybody's seen one that we've talked to, but have you really seen one? You know?
Exactly.
Shit, your wife's seen one like last week.
Yeah.
A black one.
Yeah. And a mountain lion the year before, or bobcat a couple years ago. Both of them.
We never see them, but everybody else does.
Allie keeps seeing that 250-inch mule deer right down here by the river, too.
Whoa.
Whoa, that's what happens, dude, when you let chicks go. That's exactly what happens. It's so hard. They probably saw a grizzly bear and we're freaking, it's probably real, and we're like going, fuck, shut up. One dude says, Zach said how many, we're probably at nothing crazy. Here's the thing, I would say we're probably at 50 to 60 coyotes this year is all, but we just.
For how many sets we've made.
Which is a handful.
Right.
You can count them on your hand.
We did it. We went for a week in November before deer season,
which we never do.
Exactly. And
Never.
we might have made 4 sets that week,
And then we stopped.
and I think we killed
20.
Yeah,
20, dude.
I was gonna say 17 coyotes, but,
All on video. Yep.
and then we stopped for deer season.
And then we got contracted out spontaneously to do an add-on.
Yeah,
And
so
that's been tying us up pretty much all day. We're trying to get that
on
finally.
top of that, the elk hunters everywhere.
Like you said, right here, guys. This is still going. These are elk teeth right here.
So our season's really just getting started, to be honest.
And we really do the mass amount of damage during calving for guys. But the only thing that sucks about that, it's fun for us, but it sucks because we're not utilizing what they have. We are able to kind of salvage a fur, but sometimes you can't. And then so that's it. Anyway, shit, dude, that camera's freaking blinking at me. That one's going hot. That one's going down. So we're going to be out. We're down a little bit, but we're going to go out and smash some tonight. KILLBOX is what it is, man. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Maybe next time we'll do a podcast on just questions and answers. Maybe we'll make that a thing.
We'll
It's
have
kind
to
of
start
fun.
doing this live deal more too. A guy was just asking how often we're going to do it. But
It'd be cool. I mean, shit, we've got about 10 between all of us. We've probably got close to 15,000 followers on Instagram. And if we can pass some insight on, it'd be cool to engage you guys and do more podcast question and answers. And we could do it on here, and then the podcast would be out for everybody to see also. Recommendations, guys, let us know if you want to see certain podcasts. We've got LRI, Fox Pro, Les Johnson, Eberly Stock. We do have Loophole. I saw a question about that coming up. PTG, and then this marks off the KILLBOX. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're trying to get 100,000 subscribers there. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook. I know the shit show that's going on with social media fucking sucks, but it is what it is. Guys, put a plug in for what you guys got. Your Instagram. Keith is
Opt_pro staff.
John is
O'Neill Ops _pro staffer.
all right, guys, and I'm James O'Neill, and this has been a Predator Hunter O'Neill Ops podcast. Check us out on Spotify, iTunes, and Anchor. Just search Predator-Hunter or James O'Neill. You'll find it. Hopefully get some good content out there. We are out. We're done.
Shut your live off.
Yeah, dude. Shut that.
Yeah.